Hi, welcome to Starter Snooker. This is your judge's briefing. The judge will now tell you special things about the course that you're going to need to know in order to effectively run the course. Always make sure you show up for the judge's briefing, as there may be important things that you may have missed looking at your course map. Plus, it gives you the opportunity to ask the judge any questions that you may have regarding the course. So, for this briefing, the judge is going to explain where your start line is, where your finish is, and also show you the closing obstacles. So we're going to go through those now. Here is demonstrating your start line. Your start line is between these two cones. You can start anywhere on the course, far down to that first red or close to the second red. You can either start on the left or the right side of this particular start line. And here is your finish line. The time will stop when the dog crosses between these two cones. Now we're going to familiarize ourselves with the closing sequence. The judge will show you this in the briefing. In this sequence, the start of the sequence begins with the number 2. It can be done in either direction in the opening and closing of the closing sequence. Next, we're moving on to the double jump, which will be replaced by a single jump when we go to specials. This can only be done in one direction in the closing. In the opening sequence, either direction. Moving on to number 4 is the A-frame. Once again, only one way in your closing, but in both directions in your opening for 4 points. Our 5-point obstacle is a combination. It has 2 jumps, labeled 5A and B. They can be done in any direction in the opening, but only one direction in the closing, starting with 5A and B. And here we have number 6. Number 6 is our teeter, obviously only able to do one direction for 6 points. And finally, for 7 points, we have our weave poles. They may be done in either direction in the opening, but only in one direction in the closing for the 7 points. In your opening sequence, you must familiarize yourself with where the red jumps are. In this case, we have 4 red jumps. Here's our first red jump, and you can identify them because they're red. Going on, here's our second red jump. Once again, a red jump. And we have one in our far corner. That's our third red. And over here, we have our 4th red jump. When going over your course map, it can be a really good idea to already have a plan prior to running. Sometimes the plans will change when you're going out and actually walking the course. But if you get a course map, get an idea of and familiarize yourself with the course you think you're going to perform. Here in playing snooker, I've decided to do 1-6, 1-7, 1-7, equaling 23 points, closing 27 for a total of 50. First red jump is 1, and then 6. Second red jump, 1, and then we add 7. Again, no refusals in the opening of snooker. Our third red jump, 1, and once again through the weave poles for 7. Now our closing, 2 tunnel, 3 double, 4 is the A-frame, 5A, B combination, 6 is teeter, and finishing off with 7. This will give us a total of 50 points. Here's another plan that Martha chose. Opening 1-4, 1-6, 1-2 equals 15. We have 1, obstacle number 4. 1 red jump, onto the teeter. Our third red jump, into the tunnel. And once again, Martha must do the tunnel again in order to start the closing. So back through the tunnel, up over the double, that's 4 for the A-frame, 5AB, 6 is our teeter, and once again we're doing 7 for the weave poles. Again, no refusals in starters. Here, when things don't quite go as planned, it happens often in snooker. You'll hear a whistle, and that indicates game over. Here is Thriller not completing the teeter-totter. He goes over the teeter-totter once after the red jump, but then never comes off. So he gets no points for this particular piece. And we must find another red. Here, the bar down, the first red bar down. So now our choice is to find another unused red. In this case, we did two obstacles back to back. We're doing the tunnel, which we should have done a second tunnel, and the jump. Game over. Here we do two reds back to back. Once again, it means the game is over. In this case, missed number 3 obstacle in the closing. Once again, we have a game over. And here we have a refusal in the closing. In advanced and masters only, this would signify the game over for those two levels. Here we have the handler running through the weave poles. That's game over. And now, if a handler does not do number 2 after a red, meaning 2, and then start the closing with 2, it is also game over. I hope this video has given you some idea of how the game of snooker is played. There are infinite numbers of rules and we couldn't possibly get through all of them, but I hope you have a fairly good idea of some of the general rules. Make sure that if you do want to know an in-depth rule book, check out the aac.ca website. Our final video in this series will include skills and drills so that you can work at home to make snooker easier for you and your dog to be able to play. There are some very specific things that we can teach our dog in order to make the game of snooker much easier for both the handler and the dog. So, next time we'll be getting out there and playing snooker, and you'll get a really good idea by playing the game just exactly how it works. Thanks for watching.